Hi, this is Andrew Schoenberg for KSQD. The 2025 Carmel International Film Festival is coming to downtown Carmel at the beginning of October. This 4-day event includes recent feature films and shorts from domestic and foreign professionals, plus high-quality student films. These have all been selected for artistic merit and thought-provoking subjects and stories. There are documentaries and works of fiction in a variety of genres. Historic films about Carmel, Big Sur, and the Monterey Bay will also be shown. Attendees will be treated to in-person interviews with filmmakers, expert discussion panels, parties, and receptions. I interviewed Annette Andersen, co-director of the Carmel International Film Festival.
When is the film festival going to be happening?
Well, thank you for having me. The film festival is going to happen October 2nd through 5th, and that's in downtown Carmel at the Golden Bough Theater.
Why don't you just say a little something about the mission of the Carmel International Film Festival? What are the goals?
Well, one of the biggest goals is to connect the creative community that's here with the larger creative community in film and television from Los Angeles and across the country and really across the world. We have so many people here locally who are really talented, and we just thought it would be a good idea to bring everybody together through the film festival. That was one of our big criteria.
Let's just talk about, in general, the types of films that will be shown. We'll get to more specifics about specific individual films in a minute, but
we've got all kinds of films. We're going to be highlighting some of the local student filmmakers, and some of their work is as good as professionals that are coming out of Los Angeles and across the country. Really impressive lineup of student films to start off with. We're going to be showcasing some historic films, the two films that were shown here in 1929 when Mildred Taylor started the Carmel International Film Festival. We've got historic films like Don't Pave Main Street, narrated by Mr. Clint Eastwood, and that is a detailed look at the history of Carmel and all the luminaries who lived here and the art colony that emerged. And then Big Sur, The Way It Was is another film we're going to be showcasing again this year. And then we go into short films. We've got wonderful short films from all across the country, some surprisingly big names in some of those films. So we've got a short film we're screening on Saturday, October 4th that stars Dana Powell. You may know that name. She was a series regular on Modern Family. She played Cam's sister, and she was in the movie Bridesmaids. Then we've got a short film from Eric Pisoja, who you might have recognized from NCIS and The Flight Attendant. He was a series regular on both those shows. And then we've got two short films starring Eric Roberts. One of them is with Penny Johnson-Gerard, who you may know from the Orville, Castle, 24, The Larry Sanders Show. The other film that is Death Pays Flora a Visit, and that's with Eric Roberts, and Mimi Kennedy, who is from Mom and Dharma and Greg. That other film I mentioned is called Little Matchmakers with Penny Johnson-Gerard. And
these are all short films?
These are all short films. Those are some of the highlights on that. And then we've got some independent television, series called The Long, Long Night, and very interesting to see what's happening in terms of producing independently, even in television. So I'm very excited about that.
I haven't heard of that before, independent television.
And then we've got a film from Katie Aselton, a feature-length narrative feature called Magic Hour, and that stars Daveed Diggs from Hamilton and Snowpiercer, Katie Aselton herself, and Brad Garrett from Everybody Loves Raymond, and Emmy Award nominee Susan Sullivan from Dharma and Greg and My Best Friend's Wedding and Castle. And we've got some other films, too. We've got a lot of documentaries and other short films and other long feature films.
Fictional feature films.
Yes. And then I have to point out we do have one incredible documentary feature from Ukraine. The filmmaker did get a visa to be able to come here. It's an international premiere for them. That film is called Flowers Beyond the Dark. And that is a look at two artists who got separated during the invasion and how they all coped with the Russian invasion. And it's incredible footage, directed by a 37-year-old female filmmaker from Ukraine. And it's Oscar worthy. It's an absolutely beautiful film.
Did you say something about an Oscar?
In my opinion,
you said
it
it's
is
like
an
Oscar worthy.
It is an Oscar-worthy film. The cinematography is beautiful. The story is beautiful. And it really juxtaposes the beauty of the art and the landscape of Ukraine with the atrocities of the war. Very, very powerful film. We also have a short film narrated by Clint Eastwood for the National Marine Bay Sanctuary, The Fight for Monterey Bay, Sanctuary for Our Future. That's an incredible film that documents the extraordinary grassroots movement that stopped the offshore drilling in Monterey Bay and led to the sanctuary's designation.
The films will be screened at the Golden Bough Theater, and you're going to be in the larger auditorium there?
We're going to be throughout the entire property there. We will have the films that are going to screen in the Founders Theater upstairs, and then we have panels and parties planned for the Circle Theater. The Founders Theater is where we're going to be screening all of the films. That's the upstairs larger theater, and then the Circle Theater downstairs is where we're going to hold our panels. And we're putting our panels together now. We have invited Dean Cundy, legendary director of photography, was Oscar nominated for Who Shot Roger Rabbit. He did Jurassic Park, a little film called Apollo 13. I mean, amazing director of photography. We're very lucky to have him come. We also have, we spoke this morning with Graham Yost, who is local and has agreed to come. We're going to try to partner him on a panel, hopefully with Mark Duplass.
Tell me about Mr. Yost.
Graham Yost is amazing. He wrote Speed. He is a showrunner, Emmy nominated multiple times. His shows that are on air now are Silo and Slow Horses. He also did The Americans, Sneaky Pete, Justified, The Pacific, Band of Brothers, and was Emmy nominated from The Earth to the Moon, Apollo 1.
In case you've just tuned in, you're listening to KSQD, community radio for all of the Monterey Bay, on 90.7, 89.7, and 89.5 FM. I'm Andrew Schoenberg, and my guest is Annette Andersen, co-director of the Carmel International Film Festival, which is coming to downtown Carmel October 2nd through 5th.
We've got a number of feature films that I'm really proud to screen this year. One of our ideas behind the festival was to also highlight filmmaking done in California. And for those who've been following, the tax credits that we finally passed now make us somewhat competitive with what's happening in the film industry to try to bring production or hold on to production here in California. So I'm really proud to show films that were filmed entirely in California, feature films such as Midnight in the Orange Grove, directed by Andrew Troy. That's based on true events. It is the story of a young woman who's jarred into remembering a tragedy long buried in her subconscious. Beautiful, beautiful film that'll screen on Sunday. Another film from the Bay Area, directed by David Lanning, called This Side Up. This is a romantic comedy about a struggling screenwriter who is dumped by his high school sweetheart and, having no sense of direction in his life, moves into a storage unit. Sweet, lovely, fun, romantic comedy. We have...
it's a subgenre of romantic comedies called storage unit comedy.
Yes. We have a wonderful documentary, also from Duplass Brothers Productions, called The Romano Twins. That stars Matt and Greg Romano, identical twin sons of Ray Romano, as they set out to make a documentary about the unique challenges of not only being a twin, but having a famous father. Also have some animated films, I should point out. We have a wonderful short film from Academy Award nominee Aaron Blaise called Snow Bear. It's lovely. It's about a lonely polar bear who can't find a friend. Amazing film, hand-drawn 2D animation, painstakingly created over 3 years by Aaron Blaise.
Wow.
The musical score is by Marlon Espino and Grammy Award winner Mark Mancina. You may know their work from Cry Macho, Juror Number 2, Invictus, Speed, Moana, and The Lion King. And they are local composers, so it's lovely to be able to highlight their work.
Really?
Then we have a full-length animated feature from Kirby Atkins, and this is called Mosley. Lovely, lovely feature-length animated film. Can't wait to show this to our audiences. The voices are from John Rhys Davies from Lord of the Rings and Raiders of the Lost Ark, Rhys Darby from Our Flag Means Death, Flight of the Condors, Lucy Lawless from Xena Warrior Princess. We have a lovely documentary called Rescued Hearts that is about the healing power of equine therapy. Beautiful film. That'll screen also on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
We have a feature-length film called Trash Baby that comes to us from J.C. Mars. Wonderful coming-of-age story from the perspective of a young woman growing up in a trailer park. And we have Elijah Carnazzo is one of our wonderful volunteers on the festival. He's also a local actor, and he has a small part in that film. So it's wonderful to be able to highlight local talent at the same time that we screen these films.
Mm-hmm. How do you get these films? I mean, do you have to pay for them, or do people say, "Hey, I'd love to have some exposure for my film at your film festival," or how does it work?
Well, we use a platform called Film Freeway that quite a few film festivals use. So it's when independent filmmakers are working the festival circuit, I think they find us through that. Maybe they have found us through our ads. There are a few films that we have learned about and gone after personally. Midnight in the Orange Grove is one of those. I saw that through Film Freeway and contacted the director and invited them to submit. Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad I did. It's a beautiful film. That's also how that Ukrainian documentary came to us. Lawrence saw that and reached out, and now we've got their international premiere.
It's a feather in your cap, right?
I'm very, very excited to screen that for our Carmel audiences.
Yeah.
So.
Also for short films, I mean, if it's the same as when I had a film in here years ago, somebody that makes a short film, they submit it, and then there's this, I guess, a committee or something that looks and says, "Oh, this is actually pretty good," or whatever, and decides if they want to include it, right?
Yeah, we got such an amazing group of films this year that the standard for quality of films kind of set itself this year. We have one film, though, that really surprised us from a local student, 16 years old. He did everything. He wrote, he directed, he did the Foley, which is the part of the sound design. He composed for it.
Wow.
And it is just lovely. It's as good, if not better, than some of the short films that have come from adult filmmakers. But we have films from all over the country. We have a short film from Georgia. We have a few projects from L.A., from all over. But like I said at the beginning, we really do want to try to put all of these wonderful filmmakers on a world stage here, and that includes the local filmmakers. We want to see them compete and be of that same caliber. We're trying to support the local film community through the film festival.
You've touched on this somewhat already, but let me just ask you, in addition to the film screenings, what other events are part of the festival?
The panels that we're putting together, we are working with SAG-AFTRA, the Northern California San Francisco office, to put together a panel that has not been determined yet. But that'll happen, I believe, that'll happen on Thursday.
And just in case some people don't know, what is SAG-AFTRA?
That is the Screen Actors Guild and the Television Union for Performing Arts, for performers.
And I think they merged years ago. That's
yes,
why
they
it's
did.
SAG-AFTRA, right?
Yes.
Okay, right.
We're hoping to put together an animation panel, but that has not been put together yet. Working on that.
Mm-hmm.
In case you've just tuned in, you're listening to KSQD, Community Radio for all of the Monterey Bay, on 90.7, 89.7, and 89.5 FM. I'm Andrew Schoenberg, and my guest is Annette Andersen, co-director of the Carmel International Film Festival, which is coming to downtown Carmel October 2nd through 5th.
We are going to do a special award. I can tell you about that.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a Lifetime Achievement Award for Eric Roberts.
Oh. And he's in a couple of these films.
He's in a couple of the short films. He's Oscar nominated. You may know him from The Runaway Train, King of the Gypsies, Star 80. He's also a series regular on The Righteous Gemstones. Amazing individual. He's done, at this point, more film and television spots than any other living American actor, at least
Really?
from what I can tell. Looking him up on IMDb, he's got over 1,100 projects on
Whoa.
his IMDb. I don't know how many of those are for acting, but he is one of those wonderful actors who will do short films with filmmakers that are learning, that are trying to grow into their craft, student films, that kind of thing. He's done more, I think, for independent filmmakers than any other actor I can think of in terms of just simply saying yes and showing up and being enthusiastic. And he's just a wonderful guy, and I'm really excited to be able to give him a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Great. And where does he live?
He is in Los Angeles. He'll actually be on location in New York, but his lovely wife, Eliza, will be here. And so we'll be able to do that award either through a live feed or pre-recorded. We're working out those details now, but lovely human being. So I'm very excited about that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I had one more panel I wanted to point out, if I may. And this is another one that's going to be sponsored by SAG-AFTRA. Bringing up a Los Angeles actor I know, Eric Pasoja. He is co-chair of the SAG-AFTRA LA New Technology Committee, and he is a digital identity authentication systems member. He is an expert on what's happening with AI and digital identity and how that applies.
In other words,
to acting.
that AI is maybe imitating actual people, living or dead?
Yes. So we're very excited about that. He's one of two people on a special committee in Los Angeles that specializes in this area. Spent some time up in Sacramento a couple of weeks ago testifying to our state representatives and letting them know from the actor's perspective how important this is to put the protections in place so that our digital identity doesn't get sold or used without our knowledge or permission.
Or payment
yes,
to
and
us.
payment. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Right. Why a film festival here in Carmel by the Sea? Because, I mean, it's not a major film production center. So what?
So there are a couple of reasons for that. I was digging around in some of the local history and discovered that there was an artist named Blanding Sloan and his wife, Mildred Taylor, were regulars here in the Carmel art scene in the 20s. And Mildred
This
Taylor...
is the 20s, too. We were talking about the 1920s.
The 1920s.
Yeah.
And she put together the very first Carmel International Film Festival. And in my research, I've not been able to find a film festival that's older. 1929, we predate Venice Film Festival by 3 years. So we haven't proved this emphatically yet, but we are very curious about this history. So that's certainly one reason. And then the other reason is, who doesn't want to come to Carmel? I mean, it seemed like a beautiful place to have a film festival.
Sure.
There's a long history of production happening here over the last century. Many, many films have been filmed here, from National Velvet with Elizabeth Taylor to Big Little Lies. You know, there are a lot of films. There's
Yes.
So there's a historical reason to try to do this. But the main one was, who doesn't want to come to Carmel? It's a beautiful place to have a film festival. The one that was here up until 2017 They had up to 24,000 attendees a year.
Wow.
Before they stopped. And, you know, California filmmaking could use a little something to be proud of and a little shot in the arm. So hopefully we provide some of that by creating this platform.
Why don't you just tell us a little bit about your background?
So my background, thank you for that. One of my first jobs in film and television, I worked as an executive assistant to Faye Dunaway and was on location with her on a film in Georgia for a couple of months. And that was quite the education. I learned so much from her. I was involved with the Simpsons television show for about 8 years. I worked directly for Matt Groening, who created the show. And I was involved in all kinds of aspects of that production, everything from print, anything in print from comic books to calendars. I had a hand in working directly with the publishing company, and I worked on the Fox lot with Matt for that 8 years. I even filled in the comic strip that he used to do weekly called Life in Hell. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I used to really enjoy that. So when you say you filled in, you contributed to artwork, or
yes. So
really?
You know, Akbar and Jeff's stripes on their shirts. That
okay.
that was me inking those on
of
Fridays.
Course, yes, okay. Yeah. Oh, I was going to just ask you. So the type of work you were doing was executive marketing, like behind the scenes kind of production.
Yes, it's that
stuff. The business aspect, right?
Yes, that's a good way of putting it. And I left 8 years later as director of new media for him. I had been involved with some of the staff doing the development of Futurama. I helped out with some of that. It was time to go do something else, raise a family. And when I came back into film and television, I came in as a producer. I produced an independent film called Day of Days with Kim Bass, who was he's probably best known for his writing on In Living Color. I worked with him on a little show called True Colors on the Fox lot before I worked for Matt Groening. And then I also was a production consultant on an Oscar-nominated film called Marshall.
Do you want to say something about your partner, Lawrence Reck? How do you say that?
Absolutely. My partner, Lawrence Rock. He is a lifelong Carmelite, was raised here, lived in Pebble Beach and Carmel most of his young life. He worked directly for the Eastwoods for about 12 years, doing documentary work for them, then produced 2 films with the family. The first one was called The Forger, and that starred Lauren Bacall, that filmed here in Carmel, and it was sort of a love letter to Carmel. Then he did Diablo with Scott Eastwood and Walton Goggins, and I met him at the San Diego Film Festival in 2015 when Diablo won that festival, and I was involved to a small degree, but I was involved in some of the background of that festival and got to know the people that run it. And between that and my experience in 2016 at Sundance, I was there for 8 days and just soaked it all in. But between what Lawrence knows and what I've experienced, I think we're a pretty good team to put this together, and we're having a lot of fun doing it.
So if people want to attend the festival or certain parts of the festival, how would they do that?
Well, we offer all access passes for all 4 days, and we offer day passes for those who may only want to attend for 1 day. Those are all available on our website, which is ciffest.com, so cfest.com. And those tickets are at a reduced rate until September 1st. Our schedule is right there on the website as well, so people can pick and choose what they'd like to do, but that's the best place to get tickets.
Okay. And so there is not individual tickets for like, I just want to see this one movie or something that you...
No, not yet. We're, like I said, we just came back this is our second year back, so that's a level of sophistication we've not been able to incorporate yet for this festival. Maybe next year, or as we continue to grow, maybe that'll be an option. But for right now, it's day passes and all access passes. And for those day passes and for the all access passes, if there's a party or a panel going on that day, that pass will get you into all of the events that day.
Mm-hmm. And the same if you get a festival pass, we'll get into parties and receptions or whatever?
Yes. Yes. They're just not transferable, obviously, and the day passes are only good for the day that they're issued.
Mm-hmm.
But, people can look at the schedule and decide if there's one particular day they want to come, buy a day pass. If
Mm-hmm.
you'd like to join us for all 4 days, we hope you will, and I look forward to meeting people in October.
You've been listening to KSQD Santa Cruz, KSQT Prunedale, KSQD, community radio for all of the Monterey Bay. I'm Andrew Schoenberg. Thanks for listening.